Written from the American Slavery, American Religion, and Free Church of Scotland. It was written by Fredrick Douglass. It was listed up under the subject of religion. It pretty much give a citation of actual, slave?
Yeah, the event,
The events of slavery. Eyewitnesses' testimony of what's going on. Let's scroll down a little bit that we just read.
It was 19.
It was verse 19.
Yeah, 19.
It says, some of the most awful scenes of cruelty are constantly... This is Fredrick Douglass.
Yes.
Speaking to a crowd of people. Some of the most awful scenes of cruelty are constantly taking place in the middle states of the Union. We have in those states what are called the slave breeding states. Allow me to speak plainly. Although it is harrowing to your feelings, it is necessary that the facts of the case should be stated. We have in the United States slave breeding states. The very state from which the minister of our courts to yours come is one of these states. Maryland, where men and women and children are reared for the market, just as horses, sheep, swine are raised for the market. Slave rearing is looked upon as a legitimate trade. The law sanctions it. Public opinion upholds it. The church does not condemn it. It goes on to all its bloody horrors sustained by the auctioneer's block. Okay, so this is just some of the many. So then what you can go into the scripture.
Right. Oh my God, only the scripture.
You can scroll down.
You got it paused?
Okay. If you would see the cruelties of this system, hear the following narrative. Not long since the following scene occurred, a slave woman and a slave man had united themselves as man and wife in the absence of any law to protect them as man and wife. So they were married, right? These two slave people were married. Okay, you're going to get the scripture together. They have lived together by permission. They had lived together by permission, not by right of their master. And they had reared a family. The master found it expedient for his interest to sell them. He did not ask them their wishes in regards to the matter at all. They were not consulted. Okay?
Right, but this is Deuteronomy 28. Prophecies show the prophecy revealed. Deuteronomy 28:41 states this history prophecy. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
Yeah. He did not ask them their wishes in regard to the matter at all. They were not consulted. The man and the woman were brought to the auctioneer's block under the sound of the hammer. The cry was raised, "Here goes! Who bids cash?" Think of it, a man and a wife to be sold. A woman was placed on the auctioneer block. The woman, which is his wife. Her limbs, as it is customary, were brutally exposed to the purchasers, who examined her with all freedom with which they would examine a horse. There stood the husband, powerless, no right to his wife, the master's right preeminent. She was sold.
Well, like it says in Deuteronomy 28 now, verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell in. Thou shalt plant vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Thy sons and daughters shall be given to another people. And I shall look and feel without longing for them all the day long.
Yeah.
And there shall be no might in thy hand.
No might in his hand. So this husband, he didn't have any might against these
So thou shalt be mad for all the sight of the eyes which thou shalt see. And these things happen.
And the next he said, the husband, he was brought to the auctioneer's block. His eyes followed his wife in the distance, and he looked beseechingly, imploring to the man that had bought his wife to buy him also. But he was at length bid off to another person. He was about to be separated from her From her he loved forever. No word of his, no work of his could save him from this separation. He asked permission of his new master to go and take the hand of his wife at parting. It was denied him. In the agony of his soul, he rushed from the man who had just bought him, and so that he might take a farewell to his wife. But his way was obscure. He was struck over the head with a loaded whip and was held for a moment. His agony was too great.
That's what it says in the scripture in Deuteronomy 28, verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance which shall not regard the person of old, nor shew favor to the now. This had no sympathy upon us.
No sympathy.
No sympathy, man. They don't care whether it be separated or not.
When he was let go, he fell a corpse at the feet of his master. His heart was broken. Such scenes are the everyday fruits of American slavery.
So shall thou be mad for the sight of the eyes which thou seest, man. Scenes that they see. Send the folks crazy what's going on. You know?
So what you can do is you go to your YouTubes and you go do your research and you compare. You find these. Fredrick Douglass, he was a great scholar and wrote many letters. And in this particular one,
historian.
He actually referenced where it came from. And you can link up what you're reading,
biblical
the letters,
prophecies.
Right to the biblical
prophecies. This was prophesied to the children of Israel. There was no Africans.
Yes.
This prophecy was like hand in hand, like a movie. Yes. You play the script, you play your life. They played it in our times, in his times.